Hello and welcome to another program of my channel. In the wake of the recent wildfire in California, I've decided to make a video explaining the main causes that led to this fire and teach all the English vocabulary and phrases we need to talk about this topic along the way. If you don't want to miss it, please stay with me until the end of the program. The city of California was no stranger to wildfires, but the scope of the damage caused by the recent wildfire has been totally unpredictable. California is one of the most populous cities in the United States. Many people, including Hollywood celebrities, have had their houses burnt out in this fire. Climate experts have introduced hydroclimate changes as the main contributing factor that triggered this fire in the first place. But they say there are other factors at play as well. When we talk about a wildfire of such a scale as the one in California, we are dealing with a complex fire. By complex, we mean it's a wildfire caused by various factors rather than a single factor. These factors could vary from climate changes and a lit cigarette tossed into the dry bushes all the way to a campfire that wasn't put out properly. Over the recent years, a lot of natural disasters have happened all across the world, but none of them has been able to draw so much attention as the recent wildfire in California. You might be asking why. Why do we pay so much attention to wildfires? And we don't pay even nearly as much attention to other natural disasters such as an earthquake or flood. The reason is simple. A fire is an emotional disaster. When an earthquake or flood happens somewhere, people might sympathize with the victims, but they don't see it as something emotional. On the other hand, when people see the flames with their own eyes, it makes them think more deeply about the victims and about the consequences of the event. Many experts accuse the human of the modern era of having become desensitized. They say the human of the modern age has become used to taking natural disasters for granted. They say we have toughed it out. They say we don't get upset. We don't get any bad feelings when we see people suffering from these natural disasters. But I don't agree with these experts. I believe the answer lies in the emotion invoked by fire, which is not comparable to the one invoked by other natural disasters. That's why when an earthquake happens somewhere or a flood occurs in any part of the world, people do not pay too much attention to it. What makes this recent California wildfire so special is that it happened off season. It happened outside the normal season for wildfires in that region. In regions with a low latitude, summer is the season known for wildfires occurring. But this California wildfire happened in the winter. That's why it drew so much attention. Many specialists regard it as an unusual disaster. A latitude is the distance a region has from the equator line, like California, like Florida, or North Africa. All of these regions have a low latitude, and wildfires in these regions usually happen in the summer. That's why it drew so much attention. People of this region describe it as a disaster that caught them off guard, caught them by surprise. Besides that, people of the region who've seen this wildfire from up close say this fire has exceeded all of their expectations of a wildfire. As I said at the beginning of this show, California is no stranger to wildfires, but this one has swept all through the city, turning everything, including all those celebrity houses, into rubble, disrupting many lives and causing hundreds of people to evacuate their homes. Now, in the aftermath of this big natural disaster, we should talk about ways to prevent similar natural disasters from happening in the future. In order to achieve that goal, first we need to assess the risk of fire outside the summer season. We can say, regardless of the season, if the climate change continues to warm up the earth, we're going to see more of these natural disasters happen in the future. Another phenomenon discovered by scientists to be one of the other leading factors that can trigger a wildfire is hydroclimate whiplash. It describes a situation where the climate of a specified region changes so rapidly from dry to wet or vice versa. For example, we might be seeing rainfall in a region for like 5 consecutive years. Then, if we get a dry climate for the 6th year, right after those 5 years of rainfall, a climate whiplash happens. That can be regarded as another factor leading to these fires in the view of specialists in this field. And lastly, I would like to talk about the costs of a wildfire of the scale as the one in California. There might be insurance companies who would promise to cover all the expenses of such a damage. But when it comes to the whole city burning out to the ground, even the insurance companies can't pay all those affected by the fire. Here, we need to have the government of any country in which wildfire is likely to happen to guarantee to those living in fire-prone regions that they're gonna receive a compensation from the government in the case of a wildfire burning their houses to the ground. In this podcast, it's a podcast if you are listening to it on an audio platform, or it can be a video for you who are watching me on the video platforms. In this podcast or video, I have tried to cover all the important aspects of the recent wildfire in California, and also go through the fire vocabulary. I can call it fire vocabulary that one should need to talk about this topic in English. Well, this is not a scientific channel. Here, I might say something that is not necessarily scientifically true, but an English channel where I try to introduce the vocabulary and phrases of a specific topic to you, the learners of English. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video or podcast a thumbs up. Until next time, take care.